Good morning, just keep the seats in order. Alright, we're all ready. Alright, so if you all will look up the monitors there, and what I'm going to do is go to rights with you, and we're going to get this thing moving. So, as you all can see, this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the bonded trials calendar call. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you wish for someone you care about. We'll extend that to each of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, please don't talk during court. Our goal is to move your case forward promptly and efficiently, return you back to your lives. Cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have much patience for. Cell phones. So everybody right now, go ahead and take those cell phones out from wherever you've stashed them. Pockets, purses, pull them out and turn them on. Everybody's got pet peeves in life, and mine is cell phones ringing in the courtroom. Please don't step into my pet peeve. I'd rather us just handle your case and move it forward. All right, if it rings after this, it means you're ignoring my instructions and you would like to have a contempt hearing with me. That's what I'm going to assume if it rings. This is the correct courtroom for you. If you are arrested here on a misdemeanor in Spalding County, you appeared or waived your arraignment date and requested a trial. If what I'm saying sounds incorrect, because there's municipal court going on in the next building over, there's 2 floors of Superior Court going on today, Magistrate Court I think's got something going on, so if this doesn't sound right, step out in the hallway, show the bailiff your paperwork, and they'll move you in the right direction. Today's what's called calendar call. It's where I go over your rights with you and I tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorney tell me what to do with your case. We may have a trial. There are 2 types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors issue a verdict on your case from that box over there. And then there's a bench trial, and that's where I make the guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group up here to your left. And then if you do not have an attorney, you can ask me about when we'll have that discussion. Ms. Karen is here from our Veterans and Mental Health Court. We also call that our accountability court. So if you are a member of our military or you're a military veteran, or if you have a mental health diagnosis and you wish to have your case dismissed, then if you're representing yourself, you can speak with Ms. Karen at the first break, and she can explain how our program works and help you see if you're a candidate. If you miss the chance to speak with her and you're representing yourself, just ask for a conference and talk to the solicitor's office about it. They can fill you in. If you have an attorney, simply speak with your attorney. They're very familiar with the program and can answer any questions you have about it. Our charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. Your average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County, again, make the guilt or innocence decision on your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. That's where I make the decision with no jury present. You may waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you so choose. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court, to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself, and if you remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. Everyone here still has the right to have an attorney. If you wish to hire your own attorney, you certainly may. There's plenty of attorneys here in Griffin, and there's several attorneys here in the jury box you can go talk to. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you should have applied on your arraignment date in the courtroom like I asked you to with the public defender's office. I warned you at your arraignment date that if you did not take action ASAP to secure the public defender's office, you'd very likely waive the right to apply. But if you still want to have that conversation, we certainly can. All right, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what your charges are and what the defenses are of those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, to subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial, make objections, protect your record, appeal a conviction, and otherwise just generally work to protect you. All right, it's my job to explain first offender and conditional discharge. These each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted, but there's a catch. You only get one of each for your entire life. So first offender is for everything except traffic-related charges, so no DUIs. And then conditional discharge is only for drug-related charges. All right, NOLO contendere and traffic charges. We call this a NOLO plea for short. It's where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt. It's available on most traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one NOLO every 5 years, and that's measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A NOLO will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. All right. If you are here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, family violence charges. Several of you on this calendar are charged with family violence charges, and it's actually on the face of your charges. If you are convicted of those family violence charges, you need to know that you lose your Georgia weapons carry permit, as well as federal law will step in and say that you may never again possess a firearm or ammunition. All right, habeas corpus, weird old law, and it's my job to explain it to you, so here goes. If you're convicted of these charges, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. Like I said, weird old law. What I really need you to know is that on traffic charges, from the date of conviction, you have 6 months to use those rights before they expire. For everything else in this courtroom, you have 12 months to use those rights before they expire. All right, you make conference today with the solicitor's office. Again, that's this group up here to your left. If that's what you want to do, then you'll announce conference when your name is called. You'll remain here in the courtroom, and the solicitor's office they are not your attorney. Again, they represent the state of Georgia. If you reach an agreement with them, you may resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement, then you must return to this courtroom for me to personally give you your next set of instructions, which will include signing the verdict form. Attorneys, y'all don't need to come back and see me. The solicitor will sort all that out with you before you go. Okay. If you receive probation today, you need to know that you'll be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. There is a one-time $25 intake fee per case, and then 100% of all fine amounts may be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Additionally, there's a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete your probation. Now, this is a mandatory fee, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, so this is a 2-week trial calendar. So what that means to you is that all the trials, jury and bench, are together on this calendar. This is week 1, and this is your calendar call. And then we're all going to skip a week in the middle for those of you that don't resolve your case today. And then you will report the Monday of week 2, which for y'all will be March 18th, Monday, March 18th at 9 a.m. You'll appear each and every day until your case is resolved, and we will use at least 2 courtrooms for week 2, and we will reach your case for trial. All right. Do you want to help your friends and family? Because y'all, we're still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So if you recognize a name of someone that you're about to, who fails to appear in court today, call them, tell them to get down here. You will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. Okay, pretrial motions, speedy trial demands, etc. You must let me know if there are any of these outstanding that would impact the scheduling of your case for trial. Failure to tell me this information will result in waiver, bench warrant results in waiver. And all pretrial matters must be heard on the first calendar or they are waived, unless I specifically preserve them in open court. All right, so this slide has had a lot of titles, but I just decided to go with this important because that would tell you all that, hey, this is important. So this is something you need to pay close attention to. If you announce jury trial or bench trial today, what you need to know is that you are telling me that you don't want a conference, you don't want an attorney, you do not want a continuance, you do not want a negotiated plea, you do not have any motions to be heard. And this is your last chance to ask for these options because I have zero intentions of talking about any of those when I have a jury standing outside those double doors ready to come in and try your case. That's the whole purpose of calendar call. All right, I'm about to call a calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up. If you're not able to stand up, just wave real high and get my attention. If you have an attorney, which many of you do here today, just remain silent once you stood up, let them announce for you, and then I'll wait for you to sit down. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to very loudly announce with one of the following. So you'll stand up and then really loudly you'll say jury trial or bench trial or conference or attorney. And then of course, do you have any motions? All right, Mr. Shepherd, any housekeeping?
Yes, Judge. No, Your Honor. Y'all ready for the jam?
Yes.
Page 1 is going to be Amanda Lynn Ashley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 case.
That's ours, Your Honor, and there's still a pending.
No, she was found.
That
in
was
contact.
It just
It
came back
just
like
came through.
Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Shepherd.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, and she was not.
Right.
And in fact, she has felonies upstairs, and I sent it up to Judge Coker as well to make sure he had a copy of it. So, let them write our coaches.
Judge, we'll prepare that docket when we take a break.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Page 2, top Hosea Terrell Brown.
He has a second case. It's 22 SR 1286.
What's the charge?
I think that's a shop. For theft of mislaid properties.
What?
1286.
So 22 SR 1286. So Erica, if you'll add that to the calendar, I'm gonna officially add that to this calendar, moving forward together as a group. If y'all need something to do.
But he's got a pending, if you have one.
He has. a
Okay, well, at least we'll move them together.
Yeah, he
Put them
does.
together, yeah.
Yeah, y'all are gonna get what you need. At least they'll move together moving forward. All right,
All
well,
right, bottom of page 6, should be no shock, Alan Little Rocky. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
he's
well,
got
2,
to.
He does.
3, 4.
He's got one pending.
We really should create like a mental health calendar where we put our, our mental health evaluation.
Because it's the same for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
well,
a
that's
Ludlam
on
also.
there too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right below him.
And Mr. Ludlam's got 2 additional cases.
Yeah.
22 SR 0261. That's a theft by taking and criminal trespass.
Good.
And then 23 SR 1231. That's a loitering, theft by taking, several counts of criminal trespass.
Okay. I do not have the mental evaluations back on Ludlam or Liverocki, or Brown. The only one I've gotten back is Ashley, so.
There's just a whole lot we can do with those.
No, so I would usually just say we'll see them Wednesday, but I don't see any reason to pull them Wednesday. Okay, I just wanted to say that out loud, that I don't see any reason to pull any of the folks with pending mental evaluation.
You okay with that, Deputy Piper?
It's already on your
That's
calendar.
outstanding, sir.
Okay, so,
It's already noted on your calendar.
perfect. Anybody else?
Oh, sir, that's it.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna put a note by Amanda Ashley that she was found not competent by the state of Georgia. Okay. All right, Quintavious Bailey.
Conference.
All right, and you were, they have 2 cases on the calendar?
Yeah, on this one on the 28th, I think.
Yes.
I don't know what night they're on my fourth.
Okay, well, when you have your conference, just know that you'll be talking about 2 cases, which you're clearly aware of. All right, obviously Hosea Brown has the second case, 22 SR 286.
And that does have a pending.
Yes.
I believe it does, yeah. Isaac Brown?
Conference, Your Honor.
Thank you. You, Mr. Moore. All right, Butler, Mike Kendall had a conflict somewhere. Is Aisha Butler here? Okay, I think Mr. Kendall's gonna try to make it this
He
morning.
does, yes, sir. I had an email from Mr. Kendall this morning. He had to be, I believe, Button County
Yeah,
first thing, and he said he'll be up here for too long.
that's fine. My understanding is he just wanted to put down for a conference. So-
Yes.
All right, just sit tight. Your attorney's been communicating with us well. Rodriguez Corbin?
Your Honor, in your announcement, you say, we know somebody, and another defendant in the courtroom informed me that Mr. Corbin was in a car wreck some time ago and may still be in the hospital. He's checking in.
Oh, okay.
I see about that.
I'm sorry
That's
for-
the information.
I'm sorry about that, whoever knows him, it's tough. Okay, well, let's do this, let's bookmark it, but I'm obviously not gonna sign it,
Yes, sir.
and that way we can always circle back.
Well, that's for bond forfeiture and benchmark.
Okay, so that's granted, I won't sign it until we get confirmation one way or the other. And whoever that is, thank you for letting us know, thank you for
I
that.
would try to get in touch with him.
I'm not gonna sign it, it's okay, you just do what you're supposed to do and, get with them and it'll be okay.
But I really think he's paralyzed too, Judge.
Well, if that's the case, we'll work it out, so, all right, and thank you for looking out for him.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr.
Yeah, I was
Goodman,
looking at it.
Loxley Corum,
Yes, sir, I'll be in conference.
all right, thank you. Derek Crawford.
Judge, that's Larry Diamond's case.
Oh, okay.
I spoke with Mr. Diamond last week. He has conflicts this week. But we agreed that he's gonna walk Mr. Crawford in on the 13th. So that'll be next Wednesday, I believe, rather than continuing it totally off the calendar. So,
Thank you for that.
I do want to point out though that Mr. Crawford has waived his right to a jury trial in both of these cases.
Oh, okay.
This
So
is one of those.
bench trial. It's our worst case scenario is that's a bench trial.
Yeah.
Okay, worked. All right, we'll see him on the 13th. And it's on, you said on both?
Yes. The waivers, been filed in. I think that was one of those where they do that arraignment.
Mhm. All right, Emory Dennis. Emory Dennis?
As for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Brandon. All right, back to you, Mr. Malloy. Isaiah Duncan. Looks like two,
Conference, Your Honor.
three cases. Conference. I have a couple of different spellings. Would you be kind enough to figure out what the confirmed spelling is?
Yeah.
In fact, if just Chastity would let us know, that's all.
Okay.
All right, Juan Escobar is actually the interpreter calendar, and they're gonna report virtually this afternoon. That's the one where I sent
Oh, that's-
Spanish-speaking rights.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I'm not certain that they requested to be on the interpreter calendar. I don't know that it's on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've talked to Mr. Spalding on this case.
Yeah,
I may have.
and, okay, or Sonia Hosley? Sonia Hosley? No?
That is our case, Judge, but she did not answer. So.
Okay.
Stabilized for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted, let me know if you find client.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, two cases, Christopher Hutchins.
Conference, Your Honor.
All right. Gerald Jordan.
Conference, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we've already dealt with Baraki as well as Ludlam, both in jail. All right, Drew, that's you, Drew Macon.
Conference, Your Honor.
All right, got it, thank you.
No, it's a,
Yeah, I think that ticket got paid.
it's paid.
Okay, so we're down to two.
Yes, there was a 22 TK 3286, and that one was paid after it hit the calendar.
All right, that works for me. Marcia Mizell.
Conference, Your Honor.
Thank you.
3 cases.
All right, Elise Newman. Newman? Oh, good morning.
Hi, conference.
Conference, thank you. All right, back to you, Mr. Malloy. Timothy Oliver.
Conference, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Matthew Howell. There we go.
Good morning, Judge. That's a plea. We're signed up already, but we're ready.
Oh, this looks great.
Yeah, it's ready to go. Judge, Ms. Cummings told me she's got to be in another court this morning, so if you don't mind taking that one. That's why we went ahead and worked it out.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Kelsey Shelton. Did we do
That was resolved yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Sanaya Stafford.
Your Honor, Ms. Stafford just gave birth on Sunday. The
Congratulations.
form stated that, so he been gracious enough to allow us to go ahead and move that case forward. We get an update on her physical
And
status.
obviously, I'll just pick a date that gives her time to get back.
That's a decent excuse.
Yeah, I give it that. So,
Probably knows.
fair enough. Congratulations, I hope the baby's healthy and well. Joel Starks.
Conference, Your Honor.
All right.
And Mr. Starks, the person who told us about Mr. Barlow.
Perfect, thank you, Mr. Starks. Okay, this is one we've had a lot of emails about, so upshot is Lamar Gardner, Mr. Gardner's stuck in that YSL trial that's been going on for a year and change now, with no end in sight. What I've asked him to do is just start communicating with us a little bit more detail of what's going on.
Actually, that case is continuing until March 13. Yeah, it's not going on this week.
Huh?
Yeah. Yesterday, the judge continued that case until March 13.
Oh, well.
Yeah, why?
I think they're letting the jurors go for spring break. is my
Yeah,
understanding.
March 13. So he's going to take another year.
We will, Mr. Hope will send an email.
Yeah, that's Not the exact,
That's not what I was informed of.
yeah, me neither.
Thank you for that. We'll at least confirm that that is.
Yeah, that's what he's confirmed. I heard it from the bench.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was informed that they were in the courtroom and everything.
That was my understanding too, Judge.
Dylan Webster,
Conference?
thank you. Are you aware that you have two cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. I knew you were here, but I didn't know which case you were on.
Judge, it was supposed to be on tomorrow's calendar, we get moved to today. It's Jordan Smith. She's actually in the hallway. She was, there. She walked in about 9:25 per my text message. She had a little bit of trouble finding, the courthouse this morning. But, I'm gonna speak with, the solicitor on this one and hopefully we can work it out today.
Okay, thank you. I put it up on comments.
Thank you.
All right, are there any witnesses who are subpoenaed to be here? Any witnesses? Okay, a couple, or no, one over there, so. All right, the solicitor's office will give you an announcement in just a minute, so. All right, is there anyone else whose name was not called, whose name expected? Stand up for me if your name was not called, there's always a couple.
That's probably.
What's your name, nice and loud?
Oh, and you can't just bail?
No, that's our client. He's,
Oh, that's the one I was supposed to call it, I forgot, okay. If, these are all yours, I
yes,
believe.
Judge.
Bill, you're good, we have you in hand. I bet your name starts with a B. Taylor, no?
He's ours too, Judge.
Yeah, he was on yesterday's calendar.
That's right, you know, we're walking him in today. You're good, have a
See if
seat.
you got a car trouble.
Mhm. So, what's your name?
That's
Yes.
ours, Judge.
We have you, you're good. And I bet you're the other B.
Babs.
Babs, you're good. So, I have the list here, and I was supposed to call it, and I forgot. So, and those are all yours, and they're all in hand, and y'all tell me what you need. So, it happens.
Hi, good morning, y'all. I'm Patrick Shepard. I'm the solicitor. That means I'm the prosecutor. This is Jackie Tony. She's the other solicitor. We'll be the ones to do the conferences this morning. There's a good many of them. In fact, most of you are represented by an attorney. If that's the case, follow your attorney's instructions for the rest of the morning. What's going to happen is we'll take a break in a minute. We'll meet with your attorney, give them plea offers. They'll relay those to you. Make a decision on what you want to do. Just follow your attorney's instructions for the rest of the morning. Those of you who do not have an attorney and who have asked for a conference, and there's a few of you, what's going to happen is in a few minutes, when the judge takes a break, Ms. Sherry Middleton here in the striped sweater, or Miss Lenise Fletcher, when she stepped out of the room, probably Miss Middleton here will begin calling names. They'll call your names. You're going to go through the double doors over here to my right, your left. You're going to follow them down the hallway. Please go waiting area outside of my office. Have a seat in one of those chairs, and myself or Miss Tony will call you back to your conference. When you're done with your conference, you're going to come back down the same hallway, through the same set of double doors, and quietly have a seat here in the courtroom. Either enter your plea, or get instructions for your trial date in a couple weeks. When you come back into the courtroom, make sure that you do use those double doors. If you use the single door over there next to Ms. Cummings, you will disrupt court, make the judge unhappy. Now you're way to start your Tuesday. Obviously, there's a lot of y'all, and only two of us. We know what we're doing. We move quick. We'll have everybody out of here at a decent time. All right, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Terrence Malloy. I'm one of the two attorneys in the Duke's firm. I represent public defenders. Mr. Harris Carlson, my left to the other. So one of the two of us will call your name. All those people you heard us announce conference on. So just sit tight and we'll get to it. But here's how this is going to work for us. You see a stack here? Okay, so we'll go through this, kind of divide it up. What happens is, if I call your name and you're not here, we'll go to the bottom of the stack and we'll come back through it again. It's not good for you, but anyway, that's how it works. If I go through that process twice, and you're still not present, you have to speak to the court. The judge will address that on his own today. So here's what we're gonna do. We have notes in the files about all your cases. We'll give you the updates on the notes and try to get you out of here as fast as possible. Okay, like Mr. Shepherd said, we do this all the time. We're really good at this. Be patient. We're gonna ask you, when the judge does, leave the bench and take a break, if you have to go to the bathroom or something like that, that's fine. But please come back to each ear, so when we do call your name, you're present. So only you can help us help you by being here when we call your name, okay? Otherwise, again, the court's gonna address how to deal with it. So, so if we take a break, that's what we're gonna do. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna take a plea, so Mr. Cummings, if you wanna come on up, we'll take that. If you wanna call your first round, you can, and then I'm gonna give you all a second set of instructions, and then I'll take
Can I please see Quantavious Bailey, Alice Newman, and Dylan Webster through those double doors, and I'll meet you in the hallway.
All right, you are Matthew Powell.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Powell, pull that boom mic around, you're a taller guy, and, there you go. And, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Matthew Don Poe.
Mr. Powell, you're here on 23 SR 1235, and you were on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see that PowerPoint that put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't hear. It doesn't help because I'm coming off the end of a cold and my ears are still stopped up, so I didn't know if that was me or the mic. Okay, all right, so, did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney, Ms. Cummings, passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And to ask your attorney any questions that you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Powell, do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case is going to be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Cummings, do you stipulate that there's a factual basis to support this plea for count 1, reckless driving?
I do so, Judge.
Okay, and I should put the date that this is for March 30th, 2023 here in Spalding County. Mr. Powell, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that reckless driving charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find between the attorney's stipulation as the factual basis and Mr. Powell's request to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that Mr. Powell is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving his rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as Ms. Cummings negotiated it. Anything you wish to add?
Judge, I would just ask that you accept the negotiated plea. I think that it is exactly what we agreed to on there. He's gonna do the community service, drug and alcohol, and pay the fine.
Okay, this sounds very reasonable. So, okay, Mr. Powell, do you have any questions for me about anything before a sentence?
No, sir.
All right, here we go. Matthew Powell, on 23 SR 1235, count 1, reckless driving, guilty, 12 months, $1,220 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour if you wish. Show you have a license to sentence enforcement, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Some Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence you may be on. 40 hours of community service work, substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. Looks like they'll remove the DUI school, is that correct?
I think he changed the DUI school to the drug and alcohol.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm initialing that there's no DUI school. And that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today, you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Judge, just to confirm, you were sentenced to reckless driving and not DUI.
That's correct. Always good to confirm that.
Okay.
All right, excuse me. Do you have any questions for Mr. Powell before we get on part page?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Cummings, you're trying to get on to the next one.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good
It's
day.
great to see you.
All right, thank you.
Let's go. All right, so last set of announcements before I step off the bench. This next phase goes a lot quicker if I step off the bench and let everybody move in their own directions. But here's what I need you all to know, which is that statistically speaking, one of you is going to volunteer today to go to jail. So let me just kind of do that a little more slowly. Statistically speaking, one of you is going to volunteer to go to jail. And how's that going to look like? Well, what that looks like seems to be every single day. I'm going to give you very specific instructions. You ready? We're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom. Get back to your seats. Like, that's the extent of the instructions. We're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom. Get back to your seats. I don't know if folks go for oil changes, haircuts. I'm not really sure. I'm really not sure. But every single day, somebody wanders off and doesn't come back. And I don't know how those instructions get muddled, but they do. And I have a solution, which is that the fact that I have a solution tells you it's an issue, which is that I issue an arrest warrant for you. I'll hold you without bond, and I'll go see you in a couple weeks after trials out of the jail. So don't volunteer for that. But statistically speaking, one of you is. So sorry about that, but it's just what's about. So that's it. Here's my instructions. We're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. There's a lot of things going on. Bailiffs calling people this way, public defender's office calling folks this way, solicitor's office calling folks that way, and it all has to happen from this space. It is 9:48. I will be back on the bench at, I think 10:30. We think Captain 10:30.
Yeah, with an amount,
Yeah,
10:30.
Okay, 10:30. All right, so I'll be back on the bench at 10:30. You'll be back in your seats as soon as you stepped to the restroom and got back in your seats. All right, with that said, I'll see everybody in 45 minutes. We'll go ahead and sign those. Yeah, just look at it. We should do it. We as a stage.
Yes.
All right, take your notes, take your full name.
Jordan Smith?
All right, Ms. Smith, you were here on 22 SR 1790, and you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about those rights that I read out?
No.
Your attorney, Mr. Brill, has passed up to me this attorney independent plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
To ask your attorney any questions that you have about it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with Mr. Brill about all aspects of your case?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Smith, do you have any questions for me about anything before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No.
Mr. Brill, do you stipulate there's a factual basis to support this DUI plea here in Spalding County from July 3rd, 2021?
We do so stipulate, yes, Judge.
All right. And Ms. Smith, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this DUI charge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find between the stipulations of counsel and the defendant's request to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that Ms. Smith is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights to entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as negotiated. Floor is yours if you want it, Mr. Brill.
Yes, Your Honor. This case was several years ago. But this evening was certainly one that my client very much regrets. My client was in a disagreement with her significant other at the time and made a decision to drive when she really shouldn't have. Your Honor, my client, since that time, has been working. She's the lucky recipient to have a beautiful 6-month-old child at home. She's a stay-at-home mom, engaged with trying to get ready for a wedding. Her fiance helps her with her support. Your Honor, we ask you to accept the negotiated plea at this time. I believe that is the mandatory minimums for the under the state law. I believe the state did dismiss count 2, and she did serve her time in custody, so that would be a credit for time served order. Your Honor, I do believe that her license has already been suspended for the year. She retained us after she missed the deadline on the implied consent issue, but she'll be eligible for a full reinstatement as it's a first in lifetime DUI. But we ask you to just accept the negotiated plea as provided on the paperwork.
Okay. And I'm going to grant all that. So I've already marked it. So, All right, Ms. Smith, do you have any questions that I can answer for you about anything we've covered so far?
No.
Okay. All right, everybody ready? All right, here we go. Jordan Smith on 22 SR 1790 from July 3rd of 2021, count 1 DUI. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 1683 is your fine. It's 1 day to serve in the Spalding County Jail with credit for time served in full, so you don't have to go back to jail on that. Count 2 is dismissed. You may, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work. You will need to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. 40 hours of community service work at no less than 6 hours per week. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days, and DUI school within 60 days. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am, about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
Your Honor, I did, I believe she's gonna clear, you already met with probation, did you?
No.
Okay, she's gonna meet with probation. She does reside in McDonough, in Henry County, so I believe that's where she would be supervised, but she's gonna clarify that today.
So the short answer is, it's not quite right. What I'll do is I'll mark it as just e-report. So what they'll do is her supervision will remain here,
Sure.
but that way she can do her testing up there. It's cheaper here, but it's more convenient for her up there. So like I said, this is one of those moments where as long as you communicate well, you do what you're supposed to do, and they know where you are and what you're doing, they'll give you room to move. If they feel like they don't know quite where you are, they don't know quite what's going on, then they're gonna pull you back in. So you and your actions will control the right and freedom you get here. So, okay, that's a good point. So, all right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Clint, we're just gonna walk out those double doors, and I think that's your last case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, see you.
Thank you.
As always.
I'll be with you.
All right, that was all tomorrow's calendar. Back to today's calendar. All right, this is on page 3. It's Loxley Cora.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Cora, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Loxley Corum.
Ms. Cora, you're here today on 22 SR 1836. You were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see that PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Correct.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes.
and to ask your attorney any questions you have about it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it? Yes?
Correct.
Okay. Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
I am very.
You have the right to a jury trial.
Correct.
And by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Corbin, do you have any questions for me about anything so far before I pivot to Mr. Goodman with my next set of questions?
Not this time.
Okay. Mr. Goodman, do you stipulate there's a factual basis to support this reckless driving plea from July 1st of 2022 here in Spalding County?
I so stipulate, Your Honor.
And do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this reckless driving charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find between the stipulation of counsel and the request to enter a guilty plea for the defendant that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that Ms. Corbin's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as negotiated. The floor is yours if you want it.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you indicating you would accept the negotiated agreement. This state did ask that I let you know that this was a situation where my client was pulled over as the officer believed she was not wearing a seatbelt. She did have her child in the car. However, she submitted to a blood test and it was under the legal limit. It was a .07. And that is how we've reached this recommendation that you have before you today. I would also like you to know that my client resides in Monroe County. So she understands, what the requirements in terms of reporting will be. If there's a possibility of doing it remotely, that would be preferred, but certainly Your Honor, she knows that she'll be on reporting probation of some kind.
Okay. That's fine, I'll let her report. Now, you'll still have a lot of obligations, but they will let you do those later, so that'll be. And obviously, if you don't do it, then you'll be doing it here, but I'm sure that's not gonna be an issue. Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right, that sounds fine. Do you have any questions about anything we've covered so far?
No, sir.
All right, then off we go. Box of quorum on 22 SR 1836. Reckless driving will find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. $1,220 is your fine. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are dismissed as a result of this plea. You may work off your fine with community service work. You will need to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. You shall have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. You will be on phone report after orientation. All of the things that you would do here, you will be required to do in your home area. And you'll coordinate those with sentence enforcement. So such as, like community service work, drug testing, that kind of thing. I will tell you that our tests are cheaper than out there, but that's the price of the convenience. 40 hours community service work at no less than 6 hours per week. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. That's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
No, Your Honor.
All right, perfect. Then I'm going to have you step out those double doors back there. The bailiffs are going to walk you out and hand you, pass you off to the sentence enforcement.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you very much.
Judge.
All right.
Thank you, please, my
Good to see you.
business.
Sure. All right. Isaac Brown. Well, hold on now. That's Mr. Malloy. She's not ready. Let's see if that'd be self-represented. Bailey. Terrence Bailey. All right. If you will please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, say your full name for me.
Octavius Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, you're here today on, looks like a couple of cases, but it looks like we're just gonna enter a plea on 23 SR 186, and then I'm gonna dismiss 187. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's jump in. Mr. Bailey, It's my understanding you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir, it definitely is.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir, I did.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
You're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you understand that you have the right to surveil to a jury trial?
Yes, sir, I do.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir. All right. Don't need no wasting nobody else's time.
Well, that's okay. If you wanted one, I would be happy to give you one. It's what I've got to be here either way. So, all right, Mr. Bailey, let's jump into the facts just a bit. Have you used a no-load on any of these 3 charges in the last 5 years? Suspended license, no insurance, or suspended registration?
Yes, sir, I did.
You have?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you used it on all 3 of them?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Which one have you not used it on? Suspended license, no insurance, or registration?
Suspended license.
Okay. Because each of these are going to cause their own suspension individually of your license.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to move.
Well, I can't drive anyway. I found out I had a brain tumor, so I'm taken from driving.
I'm so sorry, Mr.
Last time I
Bailey.
seen you, I was dealing with cancer, and I found out I had a tumor, so I'm
I'm
not
so
gonna be
sorry.
driving at all. So.
Okay. Well then, then a guilty plea is not going to change your world then, because that would only get your license back. And I'm very sorry.
I'm going to change my world if you can heal me. So.
Okay. Well, we'll just go forward as we are then. And have you already surrendered your license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Bailey, then I'm just going to jump right in. Starting with count 2, suspended license. Did you, here in Spalding County, operate your motor vehicle on December 7th of 2022, while that your license had been suspended by the Georgia Department of Driver Services?
They weren't suspended; they were expired.
Okay, it's down here suspended. Expired is a totally different charge.
My license has never been suspended. I
Okay.
even went trying to get my license because I was on probation for a whole year before this case, and they were never suspended.
Okay. I'm going to send you back to talk to the solicitor's office because those are 2 very different charges. So, Clint, if you're walking back out and put them in the conference pile, we'll never do. So if you'll, I'm going to send him out those double doors, Clint, if you'll walk him around.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Huh? You wasn't doing it.
All right, Webster, Bill Webster. All right, please raise your right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Take your full name for me.
Dylan Webster, Dylan Gregory Webster.
Mr. Webster, you're here on 22 SR 1722 and 22 SR 1719. And according to your calendar, you were on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
You understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Webster, you passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
Yeah, yes, sir. They said I was something about I had to do 3 days in jail, but on one of them cases, I can't remember which one, I did 5 days. I don't know if you care or not, but I figured I'd tell you.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry whoever's coughing, but if you don't mind stepping out in the hallway, I'd be very grateful. Okay. All right, so let's, yeah, I can sort that out. All right.
I mean, cause
That's
like,
good.
I don't wanna lose my job, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, that's good information for you to pass along. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, let me think about that. We'll circle back to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then, Mr. Gregory, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir. Well, they said I made too much to afford to get a public defender, and I don't make enough to get a real lawyer, so
Okay,
that's.
okay.
Oh,
I know what you mean.
I'm sorry.
I
about
saw
that.
the look on your face when you said
Hey,
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's not a special lawsuit for public defenders, but I get it, what you were saying. That was a private attorney is what.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Public versus private is.
Sorry.
That's okay. It happens. So, you corrected it before I did, so that's a good mark in your favor. All right, so, so you made too much for the public defender's office, but not enough to retain private counsel. So the question is, I understand what you're saying, but I'm asking you is for the purpose of this plea, do you want to go forward with this plea representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well then that's fine. Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on both of your cases?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and both of these cases will be closed?
Yes, sir.
All right, did you, here in Spalding County, back on February 25th of 2022, operate your motor vehicle operate a moving vehicle, while under the influence of alcohol to the extent it was less safe for you to drive? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's 22 SR 1722. Moving over to 22 SR 1719, did you, here in Spalding County, act in a manner that was disorderly in that you threatened here in Spalding County an immediate breach of the peace? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I took these out of order, so I'm going to sentence them in the correct order. Okay, so that's the sentence. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt on each of your charges from each of your two cases that there's enough for me to take a plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea, or these pleas. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow them. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Dylan Webster, starting with 22 SR 1719 from February 19th of 2020, count 1, disorderly conduct. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $870 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Count 2 will be dismissed. You may obtain you'll need to obtain a valid driver's license, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. $50 per month. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. And that's the sentence of the court. All right, moving on to 22 SR 1722. Count 1 DUI, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months, 1086 is your fine. Count 2 is also dismissed on this case. It's 12 months probation, 3 days to serve, credit for time served on the 3 days. This is consecutive to 22 SR 1719, giving you 24 months of probation. Additional $25 intake fee, additional $50 per month supervision fee, 240 hours of community service work, substance abuse evaluation within 90 days, and DUI school within 60 days. I need you to know that although the DUI case is second, the obligations that are here can be completed during your first 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to wait for them to start
Okay.
to satisfy these obligations, and frankly, you should.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today on your DUI case and 12 months on your disorderly conduct case if you wish to use your habeas rights. Okay, any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off here to Mr. Williams. He's going to walk you up those double doors and you go meet with the sentence enforcement team.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Oliver? Oh, wait, that's not that. Timothy Oliver's in office. Dismissed. That's the middle page. Let's, somebody came in late. Who is that? What's your name?
Dennis.
Mr. Dennis, come on up to the podium. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take care of that. Let's state your full name for me.
Emery Dennis.
Mr. Dennis, where are we late for today?
I got my days confused with working in veterinary school.
I'm sorry?
With working in veterinary school, I got my days confused. I thought today was the 4th.
What I'm doing right now is I'm just opening up your file in my database just to see if you've had any previous warrants on this case. So you're going to end up with 4 options of what to do with your case. You can ask for a conference, and that's where you talk to the solicitor's office to see about resolving your case. You can ask me for an attorney. We can discuss getting the public defender's office, frankly, why you haven't.
Well, I haven't. They said
If you wanted them. Do you want the public defender's
I
office?
tried to qualify. They said I don't qualify, make too much.
Okay, and you're set for a bench trial. All right, well. Okay, you've not had a previous bench warrant in this case. It is a suspended license case with some other charges with it. The last case I show that you had with me was in 2017, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you a junior or a senior?
Junior.
And, because I see multiple Emery Leonard Davises.
Dennis.
Dennis, sorry. Sorry, it says Dennis.
Well, I'm a junior and I have a son who's a third, so I thought he would be showing up.
The one I have is 10-14-70. Is that your dad?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so my question for you is, do you want to move your case towards bench trial, or do you want to try to talk to the state about resolving your case?
I would actually prefer seeking an attorney so they can talk to the state about my case.
Okay. Well, you're certainly welcome to hire an attorney, but you've applied with the public defender's office, and they have said that you don't qualify. That's what I've just heard you say.
Yes, sir. And I've been trying to get a private attorney, but time crippled up on me, I guess.
Okay. Well, you're certainly welcome to hire a private attorney to come represent you.
Yes, sir.
But whoever you hire, you need to tell them that they need to show up here ready to try your case. So, all right, well, you've already signed your bench trial form. I don't need you to re-sign that document. And I have that here in the file. So I'm glad we're filing those now. Eric, just say that out loud. That's nice to have in the file. Okay, so your bench trial form is signed. You're asking for more time to get an attorney. That is denied. But you're still going to end up by default until the 18th, until we have your trial.
Okay.
So you're going to be here on March 18th at 9 a.m. sharp. If you bring an attorney, tell them to be ready for your bench trial. If not, be ready to represent yourself. I have no intentions of continuing this case.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, well, I'm lifting this warrant. But I have no intentions of lifting any additional warrants.
There are additional warrants on the case?
No, you will decide if there are additional warrants on the case. And then I will decide what to do with them. So, fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm saying I hope you choose not to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, anything else for me?
No, sir.
All right, well, you've already signed the reset, but either way, I'll see you here on
18th.
Monday, March 18th at 9 a.m. sharp.
All right.
Thank you, you're free to go. Kelly, when they get back there and start talking, somebody usually goes.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him over here.
Well, the problem is I'm coming off this cold, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So
Believe me, I know that.
luckily what we say here is pretty set, so I can pretty much take a guess at what folks are saying, but it is really, it's like everybody's on the other side of the football field. So, all right, so that was Mr. Dennis, he's on for that. Look at that. Look at this. Hey y'all, we're just kind of at ease until they finish. So, dealt with Mr. Dennis, nobody else is late. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna put us at ease. I'm not gonna fully leave the bench. There's just a couple more things I know are right around the corner, but I don't have them at this moment. So let's just all sit tight. If you need to step to the restroom, go ahead and do that. Get back to your seats. I haven't had to pick a volunteer out yet, but who's gonna go to jail? So I hope there isn't gonna be one today.
We're looking pretty
Mr. Bailey, come on back up.
I apologize for that judge, and she told me exactly what was going on, so I didn't even know it was suspended for not coming to court for that.
You don't owe me an apology for clarifying information that needed to be.
Oh, I hadn't looked, I didn't know it was suspended.
You and I are good. So this happens where every now and then, we just don't all know all the information that needs to be known
Yes.
before we do it. So,
I think my mic off.
yeah, we're good. So, all right, let's just start over from the beginning then. Mr. Bailey, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name.
Davis Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, you were here on time for court. You heard the rights that are read out to the courtroom. Did you understand those?
Yes, sir.
You've also passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page one?
Yes, sir, on front and back.
And back, and that's your signature?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign and initial this document to tell me that you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir, I did.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial in this case, it'll be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Did you, here in Spalding County, back on December 7th of 2022, operate your motor vehicle while your Georgia driver's license had been suspended by the Georgia Department of Driver Services?
Yes, sir.
Did you also operate your motor vehicle while not having appropriate insurance for your vehicle?
Yes, sir, I did.
And lastly, did you also do so while your registration had been suspended
Yes, sir.
by the Georgia Department of Revenue?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt on counts 2, 3, and 4, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. You have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir, y'all have been a great help.
Okay, well, like I said, it's okay that you asked that question. These are the kind of things we don't want to just bully our way through. All right, Quintavious Bailey on 23 SR 0186, count 2, driving on suspended license, I'm gonna find you guilty. 12 months probation, 735 is your fine. Count 3, no insurance, guilty. 12 months, 735 is your fine. Count 4, suspended registration, guilty, 12 months, 155 is your fine. That's counts 2, 3, and 4. Counts 1 and 5 are dismissed. And that's a total of 36 months of probation. No jail time. I'm removing the valid license requirement. This is consecutive to any current sentence. When did they say that you were gonna go to non-report?
She told me after I paid the 1,500, I would go to non-report. I guess within 2 years, you said?
Okay, it's written up as that you do that and then 2 years passes.
Yeah.
That'll cover that.
And thank you for having both of my cases heard today, because I got surgery on the 28th, so
That's gonna get you to
thank you. I was trying to see how I was gonna have to schedule this.
And then, have you, we're gonna get you your surgery. Have you turned in you've surrendered your Georgia driver's license?
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll work. Okay. So I've removed the Georgia driver's license requirement. You do not need to get a license back, although you may be tested for drugs, alcohol, and illegal substances and hemp products as needed. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. I put you on e-report, non-report after 24 months, as long as you've done everything you're supposed to do. You know, I'm gonna make that 12. So non-report after 12 months, as long as you've done everything you're supposed to do. I do want you to provide, medical documentation about your, so I'm gonna say that you're to provide medical documentation within 30 days, is that enough time?
Yeah, it should be.
And we don't want a big stack of stuff, we just want your doctor to just write a little
I got you.
one paragraph thing of this is what he's got, this is what's going on. Because that'll explain why this sentence is kind of differently structured.
Okay.
So, 23 SR 1187 is dismissed pursuant to plea negotiations. I've just signed that, and that case is closed. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you on your surgery.
I'll
and,
step back
finish
here.
trials. Yep, Mr. Clint's going to watch you.
Yeah, bless that, sir.
No, I have one more.
All right, where are these, everybody?
How much did real water cost? Only you can.
you recognize this document?
Yes,
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights are read out of it?
yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Britton, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Britton, you are charged with one count of, Mr. Charles. Do you stipulate there's a factual basis for me to accept this shoplifting charge from August 18th, 2020 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Britton, do you want to enter a guilty plea to that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we'll find with Mr. Charles' stipulation as the factual basis, combined with Ms. Britton's request to enter the plea, there's enough for me to take the plea. And we'll find that Ms. Britton is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving the rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Ms. Charles, the floor is yours if you want it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. No, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Britton, do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No.
Okay. Ms. Britton, the sentence of the court then is as follows. On 22 SR 1103, count 1 shoplifting, I'm going to find you guilty, is 12 months probation, 590 is your fine. You may work that off with community service work if you wish. You shall show your valid license to the sentence enforcement team, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. You're to have no contact with any Walmart location. And I'm going to notify you that because you're represented by counsel, that this sentence may be used against you in aggravation if you receive any future shoplifting charges and are convicted of those charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And the fourth one would be a felony,
Yes, sir.
regardless of the items. You need to be very careful what you do before, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else before we part ways?
Where can I do the community service?
They'll tell you all that back to back. That's a good question, and they'll answer it.
Okay.
All right, you'll step to the back. All right, next one is Hutchins, is that y'all's?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hutchins, if you will raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you now state your full name for me.
Christopher David Hutchins.
Mr. Hutchins, you're here on two cases, 23 SR 1709 and 22 SR 1826. Mr. Hutchins, you were on time for court today. Did you see the rights I read out to the courtroom? Did you see the PowerPoint I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hutchins, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver that I'm holding up here. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize there's the written version of those rights I read out?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
Ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hutchins, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your cases?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial in your two cases?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering these pleas, there will be no trials and these cases will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Hutchins, do you have any questions for me about anything before I pivot to Mr. Malloy with my next set of questions?
I'm not sure. I thought, we'll see if I could get a work permit or something.
The short answer is that I don't have any objection to that. It doesn't look like that's a decision for me to make. It looks like that's between you and the Department of Driver Services.
Okay.
But if it turns out that there is something that I can do, just go see the clerk's office. They'll put you down to see me on Thursday, and they'll give you directions on what you need to do.
Is this the first DUI? Is that a-
Well, it's marked originally as a second, but then it's marked out as a first. So it's marked as a first. And it's otherwise fully structured as a first. So,
Because you had the records.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
okay. So that's what I'm thinking. I think you'll be able to sort this out. So, but if it turns out there's something I can do to help, I'll be happy to.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate there's factual basis for this DUI charge from July 26, 2021 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that DUI charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's in 22 SR 1826. Moving over to 23 SR 1709, count 2. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate to the public drunkenness charge from 11/5/22 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
You wish to enter a guilty plea to that count 2 public drunkenness?
Yeah, that was the
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna find with with Mr. Malloy's stipulations as to the factual basis, combined with your request to enter a guilty pleas, there's enough for me to take the pleas. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering the pleas. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it across both cases. Any thing you wish to add, Mr. Malloy, before I sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hutchins, do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Christopher Hutchins, starting with 22 SR 1826 from July 26, 2021, count 1 DUI. I'll find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 1683 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. It's total 12 months probation. 1 day served in the jail, the initialing time served on that, so you don't have to go back and serve additional time. Show your valid license to the sentence enforcement team. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. It's consecutive to any current sentence, $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. 40 hours community service work, that's 6 hours a week. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days, and DUI school within 60 days. All right, next case, 23 SR 1709, count 2, public and drunkenness. Guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. Counts 1 and 3 are dismissed. This is consecutive to 22 SR 1826. All the same license, testing, Fourth Amendment, and supervision fees requirements. This case, though, may terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. So you're sentencing you to 24 months of probation, but it'll terminate at 12 if you've done everything you're supposed to do. So if you do right, you get out. If you don't do right, I'll sort it out with you later. I'm sure you'll do fine. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months. 6 months on the DUI and 12 months on the public drunkenness if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else before we part ways? Any questions or anything?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Phillips is gonna walk you out the double doors back there and have you go meet the sentence enforcement team. Thank you. All right, next case, Starks, Joel Starks.
Yes.
Come on up. Mr. Starks, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can take your hand down. Say your full name for me.
Joel Stark.
Mr. Starks, you're here today on 22 TK 4483, and according to my calendar, you're on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Starks, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta
Yes,
be
sir.
yeses and nos.
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
To ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on there?
Yes, sir.
You've initialed that you're not a United States citizen, is that correct?
I made a mistake. I am.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna initial that, we're gonna keep going. All right, so, Mr. Starks, Have you had all the time you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on any suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Are you asking me to accept the NOLA for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on October 10th, 2022, resulting in a suspended license charge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Charles, as to count 2, do you stipulate that there's a factual basis for this failure to maintain lane charge?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And Mr. Starks, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we'll find that his request for a NOLA is proper. I'm going to find between Mr. Charles' stipulation as a factual basis, combined with Mr. Starks' request to enter the plea, that there's enough for me to take this plea. I review the recommendation, and I will follow it as negotiated. Mr. Charles, the floor is yours if you want it.
Your Honor, just in full disclosure, Mr. Stark and I, we went way back when I was doing felony work, so therefore, I represented him before, so
Okay.
we have a relationship.
All right, well, you've done a good job for him, so, as always.
He said that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least I keep him out of prison, so. I ain't going that way.
Yeah. Mr. Charles has forgotten more about the law than most of us ever does. All right, Mr. Starks, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you ready?
Oh, Your Honor, can I pay that, the failure to maintain line, can I just pay that off and?
You can pay that, yeah, but you'll be given that opportunity to pay that to the sentence enforcement. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Joel Starks on 22 TK 4483. Count 1, suspended license of granting your NOLA, 12 months probation, $742.50 is your fine. Count 2, failure to maintain lane, guilty, 12 months, $156.50 is your fine for a total of 12 months. You need to show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and you'll pay $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. All right, and that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas right.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Charles, was there any sort of termination or anything on this one? Or is this one
No,
just-
Your Honor.
Okay, so I want to make sure I wasn't missing something. Okay. And I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Richards here, who's going to walk you out and have you go meet with the sentence enforcement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you,
Starks.
Mr. Charles. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Gerald Jordan?
Your Honor, can I make an announcement on this? Sure. Adrian Taylor, Your Honor, he was here. Although he wants to do the plea, but because he is heavily medicated, that's only a shot over the weekend. And I told him I'm not comfortable with him doing the plea under all those painkillers.
And who was this again?
Adrian Taylor. So I told him on the 18th we'll do the plea. He accepted the plea, but we'll do it on the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you told him to come back when?
On the 18th. And I told him that day not to take any medication before he comes to court.
Right.
That's one, because we didn't,
They
we haven't
got-
subpoenaed anybody.
with the public of Middlefield. And it requires that I have a license. Then my wife found out she have a medical, it just found out she have a medical problem. And then she have asthma. Sometimes I have to rush her to the hospital. And she got to go to Emory on the 15th of this month.
Okay.
Yes. No.
I mean, the short answer is that this appears to be a second and,
Yes, Your Honor, second and 10.
yeah, so there is a suspension, there is a 4-month suspension that I can't do anything about that comes with it. But you can take steps to try to get your license back. And if I do see that you're doing that, and if I can assist, I will. But there's a portion of this I can't do anything about.
Yes.
But again, I'll help you if I can. So, all right. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate there's a factual basis to support this DUI charge from December 4th, 2021 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that DUI charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find between the stipulation of counsel and the request of the defendant to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take the plea. I'm gonna find that Mr. Jordan has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights in entering the plea. I review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Mr. Malloy, if you wish to add.
Just to add to what his question was about, Your Honor, I said that there probably was going to be a suspension. I couldn't say how long, but you just told him, and maybe possibly they may allow him to do an interlock. I don't know.
Yes, and that's where I fall in, is that if he's done everything he's supposed to do, short of the interlock. So if he brings me a suspension detail report that says he's done the defensive driving school, he's paid the 210, he's done all the other obligations except the interlock device. You gotta do the treatment program. I think it's a 17-week program. Then I'll waive the interlock. But he's gotta do his other steps first. So,
It's going to be kind of a tough, road to hoe, but I guess it's possible. It's up to you. I know you have an incentive to try to get it done, but you have things you need to take care of.
But I'm saying,
There is going to be a suspension. There's really no way around that. So.
yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure you know. But sentence enforcement will also assist you in getting your license back. But again, there's only so much we can do. Georgia law mandates these certain things must happen. Okay, Mr. Jordan, any other questions before I sentence?
I gotta ask him, could I also, like the 2 days that I have to do in jail, can I do them up here and still in Middlefield?
No, because it's jail time, but that's up to the sheriff. He'll make that decision as to how that works. So, that'll sort itself out. I'm not worried about that for you. So, okay, anything else?
Since it's on the weekend, Judge, did you want to give him a date that he's going to do?
Yeah, I'll sort that out. It's gonna be okay. All right, Mr. Jordan, on 23 SR 410, count 1 DUI, guilty, 12 months, 2076 is your fine. That's total 12 months, 3 days to serve in Spalding County Jail, credit for the time that you have served. This is consecutive to any current sentence. Show your valid license, 2 sentence enforcement if you are able. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. One-time $50 payment of $50 restitution to Spalding County. If there's any jail time remaining after the credit that you've received, you'll do it in 48-hour increments. I'll actually let you get with sentence enforcement, see if there is any time left, they'll sort that out. 240 hours of community service work, 6 hours per week. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. And DUI school within 60 days. You have 30 days from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. And you have 6 months from today if you wish to use, 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today if you wish to use those habeas rights. I'm sorry for the troubles that you and your family are going through. I do want to wish you the best of luck in getting your license back and taking care of your family.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. You may go with Ms. Williams. Giselle? And if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Rosario Manziel.
All right, and Ms. Mazzell, you were here on 3 cases, 22 SR 2250, 23 SR 1252, and then 22 SR 2249. You were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see that PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that is on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your cases?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on all 3 of your cases?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trials and all of your cases will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, and then I'll need to say for the record, 22 SR 2249, which is your first case on the calendar, is going to be dismissed at the conclusion of this plea. So starting with 22 SR 2250. Mr. Charles, do you stipulate there's factual basis to support this shoplifting charge from September 4th, 2022 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this shoplifting charge, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, back to you, Mr. Charles. Do you stipulate moving over to 23 SR 1252, this criminal trespass charge from July 16th, 2023 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And ma'am, do you want to enter a guilty plea to this criminal trespass charge? Okay, that was a yes. All right, I'm gonna find, with Mr. Charles's stipulations as to the factual basis combined with Ms. Mazelle's request to enter guilty pleas, that there's enough for me to take these pleas. I'm gonna find that Ms. Mazelle's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights to enter those pleas. I'll review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Ms. Charles, the floor is yours if you want it.
That's fine, Your Honor. Nothing for everyone.
Okay. Ms. Mazzelle, do you have any questions or anything for me before we part ways? Before I present it?
No, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Mazzelle, on 22 SR 2250 from September 4th, 22, count 1, shoplifting. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 590 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show your valid license to the Citizens Enforcement Team. Have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. $50 per month supervision fee. $50 one-time payment of $50 as restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. 20 hours of community service work at a rate of 6 hours per week. No contact with Tiffany Singleton, and do not go anywhere near any Walmart. That closes out 22 SR 2250. I do want to let you know that because you are represented by an attorney, that this shoplifting conviction can be used against you with any future shoplifting charge in aggravation of punishment, and the fourth one is a felony. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Mazzelle, moving on to 23 SR 1252 from July 16th, 23, count 1, criminal trespass. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months. $300 is your fine. This is consecutive to 22 SR 2250. This case will terminate upon completion, but otherwise, all of the charges, all of the conditions that I read out in the first case are exactly the same in this case. All right, that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months on each of your 2 cases if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you enter the parlays?
I'm fine.
Okay. Mr. Phillips is gonna walk you out those double doors. Good luck to you, man.
And Your Honor, 1 and 22 is 2249
Oh.
is not.
Yeah, I said I was gonna dismiss it, but I didn't say that I did dismiss it. So now I'm gonna say I did dismiss it. Okay. All right. Pass. All right, so this is gonna close out 2 of our 3 missing people. The only one we'll need to figure out is Bill then.
Yes.
Okay, all right, Mr. Darlene Bass?
Yes, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
My name is Darlene Bass.
Ms. Bass, you're here today on 22 SR 1849, and you were on time for court, and did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see that PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Bass, your attorney's passed up to me this attorney independent plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you, are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
And did you, I don't think I said this, but did you have a chance to ask your attorney any questions you may have had?
Yes, sir.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of the case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on this case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Bass, do you have any questions for me before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, sir.
Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate that there's factual basis for this simple battery charge from August 13th, 2022 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Bass, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this simple battery charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I'm going to note for the record that it is not a family violence charge, just in case there's a question for that. All right, then I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
Follow the recommendation. Mr. Malloy, the floor is yours if you want to add anything.
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Okay. Any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Bass, on 22 SR 1849, from August 13th, 2022, simple battery, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. You may work that off with community service work if you wish.
Yes, sir.
Show your valid license to the Citizen Enforcement Team. Note, illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. 20 hours community service work, no less than 6 hours per week. No contact whatsoever with, looks like Jameer Favors.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I call this?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off here to Ms. Williams. He's going to walk you back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, next one I have is Macon. Y'all, that's the last one I have of this.
Yes, that's our last one.
Raise your hand if you're here doing community service work. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You just
Okay,
better
you're good, thank you. I'll sort that one out. All right, Ms. Megan, raise your right hand for me. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Drew Macon.
All right, Mr. Macon, you were here today on two cases, 22 SR 2145. That one's gonna end up being dismissed. Oh, Ms. Bass filled this out and I totally didn't catch it. This is why y'all don't trust me with paperwork.
No, that's
Sorry.
not it. He's, the lady went, this one.
Sorry, Clint, that goes outside. Mr. Macon, you have 22 SR 2145, which is gonna be dismissed at the end of this plea, after we enter a plea to 23 SR 1043. You are on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
You understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney passed up to me this attorney independent plea rights waiver. You recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything, and to having a chance to ask your attorney any questions about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Macon, Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your cases?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your cases?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there'll be no trial and this case will be closed? These cases will both be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Macon, Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate there's a factual basis for me to take this criminal trespass plea from June 7th, 2023 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Macon, do you want to enter a guilty plea to this criminal trespass charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will note for the record that between Mr. Malloy's stipulations and Mr. Macon's request to enter guilty pleas, that there's enough for me to take the plea. I'm going to find that Mr. Macon is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving his rights to enter this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it, and I will note for the record that it is not, I repeat, not a family violence case. All right, Mr. Malloy, if your floor is yours if you want it.
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Macon, any questions for our sentence?
None.
Okay, here we go. Drew Macon, on 23 SR 1043, from June 7th, 23, count 1, criminal trespass, not a family violence charge. Guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months. You can work your fine off with community service work if you wish. Show your dog license and sentence enforcement. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence. $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. 20 hours community service work. No violent contact with Kaylee Morgan. And that's the sentence in the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything, Mr. Macon?
No, sir.
All right, so that's the case that you pled on. I'm signing right now the null pros on 22 SR 2145, and then closes out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead out those double doors. All right, let's figure out who else is here and what else you need.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Well, Harry had a chance to look at the draft you sent out. And we saw that there's upcoming in July. New court.
If you'll notice, the rest of the year doesn't actually change anything. I just started labeling it,
Okay.
just to try to get everybody used to the idea. So you'll notice that it's labeled, but there's actually nothing new or different from July to December. I just wanted to get everybody seeing that.
Yeah, but that was already hot out of myself.
I know that, I should have.
He called me, he's like, Trinity, is that a misprint? Did he mess that?
Sorry, with your heart, I should have said,
You should have
and
given us.
don't let your hand.
Yeah, please.
And see, the irony of it was